I always have felt like you guys would be the people to turn to, you know, if there was a problem.
Well, a viewer reached out to the News 5 investigators for what she considers an emergency. She has a landline phone, but the number is in limbo.
And she says she needs it for her husband's health and safety. News 5 investigator Tara Morgan is on this case.
Okay, where are we here? What's the issue?
So she's trying to keep the landline number that she's had for more than 2 decades. Yeah. It's the only number that her husband knows. It's called phone number porting when you switch service providers but keep your old number. She says she did it once before, no problem, until now, so she called us.
So now we're home.
To some, a home phone may be just a relic. To Barbara Stefanick, it's a lifeline.
I'm just a real believer in landlines. Just for security, for safety.
But recently, Barbara hasn't been able to rely on the number she's had for 25 years.
It's just been so frustrating because my husband knows this phone number, and if he would get lost, it would be so good for him to have the phone number in his mind to have somebody call.
Barbara and her husband, Ernie, moved back to Ohio from Massachusetts in early December.
So that worked out real well.
Barbara says for the great health care options, Ernie is living with Alzheimer's.
He's just sweetly forgetful. He hates to admit it, and so I'm just trying to make things fluid for him.
What hasn't been fluid, the process in getting their landline ported.
I probably have talked to at least 20 different people.
Barbara says it wasn't a problem when she had it done 4 years ago for the move to New England.
They just flipped a switch, the guy said.
Barbara says she's been on the phone with 3 different companies, Verizon, Spectrum, and AT&T. I've reached out to all 3 to try to help her solve this problem.
I said, this is really, to me, an emergency that we get this done. That has not helped.
Verizon, which Barbara says she's been paying to keep the line active, told me the number belongs to AT&T. An AT&T rep said it's not their account. Spectrum is Barbara's new carrier. Spectrum says it's not their issue. It's between AT&T and Verizon, but that Barbara is being directly handled by their escalation department.
They've canceled, I think it's 10 times, but we've already paid 2 months for this number that's just in the air. I can't envision this. It's somewhere up there, and you can't just get it down.
Barbara is a retired nurse. She stood up for her patients and now her husband.
I used to really fight for them, and I really felt like sometimes you just have to have somebody to help fight for you. And so many times it worked out.
So we're fighting for her. We first met Barbara and Ernie last Thursday. Barbara says she was told yesterday by Spectrum this job was a TV expedite and set another date next month to come out. She was pleased with that conversation, but still isn't confident it'll happen.
And it really seems like it should be a simple solution in there somewhere. So I have to ask, has she considered using a cell phone?
Right, and I asked her the same thing, and she has her own cell phone. She doesn't want another one. She tried a cell phone with her husband, and she said it didn't work. She'd prefer to have a landline for her peace of mind and his safety. So it sounds like there's going to be a resolution. It's just when.
You know, Barbara just said it. It's a process. You would seem the process. You would think the process would speed up in this situation.
Right, and so she is at her limit, and she reached out to us to try to get things moving. So
the good news is it's been escalated, so we should know something soon, hopefully.
Hopefully,
that's how you speed it up, right?
Yeah. Yes. All right, we started looking into this after Barbara reached out to us. If you have a story you think we should dig into, contact the News 5 Investigator Tip Line by emailing investigatortips@wews.com or calling 1-88-WEWS-TIP.